All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Zenith Online Racing. This is round 17 from Russia. I am Camden as usual, but today we got Zyg from EU. He usually does the EU stuff, but he'll be here with us. Packer is off doing something special for the league. So, Zyg, how's it going?
Good to be in tier 2. As you said, always do the EU commentating, so it's nice to have a partner because I'm usually by myself on Sundays, but also excited to watch some tier 2 racing because we got a full grid, and from what you were telling me a couple minutes ago, there's some good competition in here.
Absolutely. So we're in Russia. It looks like it's a dry qualifying, so we don't have to worry about any wet conditions, and we'll see who goes out first. Yeah, usually we have one of the McLarens go out first, but we'll see who goes out first. Yeah, so Monday was quite interesting, wasn't it?
It was. Lots of safety cars, wet qualifying, well, intermediate tire qualifying. And 3 safety cars in the race and all kinds of penalties and everything. It was a eventful day, to say the least.
Yeah. So it does look like Scavney is the first guy out there right now. He's currently third in the standings, and as of late, the last few weeks haven't been great, but he's in a pretty tough battle with Biga right now, so he's going to need a lot of points today, but we'll see what kind of lap he puts up. Like I said, he's usually the first guy out, and it looks like he'll be the first guy to start a lap. We also have Bart School out, so looks like a lot of guys are heading out right now for their first lap.
Yeah, I would. Most of them right now, I've got the fitted tires up displayed on the stream, and most of them have the softs fitted, which I would expect. It's pretty easy one-stop strategy for the race to go from the softs to the mediums, or if something crazy happens lap 1, like it did on Monday, you can take the hards the whole race distance here. So, would not expect anyone to try to qualify on the mediums.
Yeah, we'll have to see what strategy is like too, and similar to Monday, safety cars could be an issue. These Russia races usually have a lot of action, and safety cars could really throw a wrench into a lot of things, so we'll have to see what strategy is like, but it looks like Scavney heading through turn 16 right now, about to start his flying lap, and we'll see what kind of lap time he puts up. There's a Williams right behind him. I believe he'll give him space, so Scavney rounding the final corner to start his flying lap. DRS is active right here. Heading down the main straight. This is a great passing area.
If you can
great
get that,
overtaking spot.
If you can good exit that, the kink through turn 1, that is turn 1, kind of like Austria turn 2. If you can stay close to that, which you usually can, yeah, the first braking zone, turn 2 is usually a very nice spot to overtake.
Looks like he's going through turn 4 right now. It's easy to go wide through there. He does a good job of keeping all 4 wheels on the track. Turn 5.
I think it's the hardest corner on the track, personally, turn 5.
I agree. And then you got these corners right here. You got 6, 7, 8, and 9. These are all a pain in the butt, especially in qualifying.
Yeah. When you're driving on the limit, pretty much every corner is challenging, but especially in that second sector where you have so many 90-degree corners and so many where you're just kind of playing a game of chicken with the car to figure out how much speed you can carry through.
Yeah, and we'll have to look out for invalidations too, because there's definitely going to be a lot of them. Time trial, I think, was tough for everybody. I've seen a lot of people comment about that. But Scavney looking pretty clean this lap, pretty solid. Couple of areas, but I think for the most part this will be a solid first lap. He heads through turn 18. We'll see what kind of time he puts up. It'll be a 1:32.3, so that's a good first lap. We'll see if he can improve on that. Let's see who else is coming to the line.
Looks like Hightower in the Williams is on a flying lap. Night Monkey's on a flying lap. RC is just finishing a lap. He goes on provisional pole, 32-0.
Yeah, and RC, he's been really good at qualifying lately, and as of late, he's had a couple of podiums, and is starting to make his way through the standings, actually, so we'll see if he can improve on that. Sam almost in the 131s with a 132.01. He's good in qualifying as well, so I don't know. We might see some people in the 130s. That might be a stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least somebody in the 130s.
Ooh. Hightower running very wide there through the start of Sector 3, that kind of floaty left-hander. I don't remember my turn numbers, but I know that one.
So, looks like Fuzz is predicting an RC podium. That's a good pick. Like I said, he's been strong lately, and yeah, that would not surprise me.
So Night Monkey setting the pace at 130.8. Provisional pole by 1.2 seconds. Adri's invalidated a lap. Alt Maverick's on a lap coming through the third sector now. His teammate is following him along as well.
Yeah, we'll see what Maverick does. And second, 131.2, so not even close to Night Monkey's time. So still kind of a gap there at the top of the grid.
Yeah, 4/10. I'd expect that to come down as we go on. But in the comments, somebody did mention it's going to be a dry race, so that's always a nice relief.
Yeah, yeah. There's been a lot of wet races lately, in both tiers actually. Monday was really nice, and I think this race will be really nice for these guys. So they don't have to worry about that. But
Adri's had a moment. It looks like either on pit entry or coming out of the final corner. Trying to find someone who's going on board near there, but. Yeah, Adri out.
Yeah, we do have a handful of guys who are reserving. Adri is one of them. You got Bobby. You got Arrow. Arrow was pretty fast on Monday, so even though he's a reserve, he could make his way to the front. But Maverick, speaking of guys at the front, Maverick raced Tier 1 as well on Monday, and he passed me and was able to get up into P2 at one point. Like I said, he was a reserve, but he was still pretty fast, so right now he's P2 on the grid.
Yeah, and 4/10 is a manageable amount of time here. But yeah, 130.0. That's 4/10 ahead of P2 and over a second ahead of P3. Has got to be a pretty nice spot for Night Monkey to be in right now.
Looks like Maverick in the pits. Known Asylum is racing. I believe that is a new person. Don't think that is a full-time driver. Nope. So that's another reserve as well, but he is allowed to qualify because technically he is not a Tier 1 driver. I believe he's a full-time reserve, but we'll see.
A lot of guys
else is on a lap?
Right, Soy Loco's on a lap. We're following along with him on the broadcast right now.
Cool.
Looks like most of the top 10 right now are either on outlaps or in the pits. So.
Yeah, and Soy Loco pretty close right now with Sam. He's 7th in points, and actually, I think this is a good time to go over the points right now. So, first place, we got Maverick, and Maverick obviously, I think it's his championship to lose at this point. He has I think there's a 46-point lead over Biga, who has had a really good last couple of races. He's won 2 straight. He's in second with 179. You got Scabney in third with 173. So that's probably one of the closest battles to keep an eye on at this point in the season. Right behind them, you got Puff with 146. He's roughly 30 points back. And then you got Jinnit rounding out the top 5 with 111. So you have some gaps there at the front, but like I said, Biga and Scavney are pretty close right now.
Yeah, Biga down in P7 at the moment. He's going to want to improve his grid position. Soy Loco goes 32-0, just missing out on P3 by 3 thousandths of a second. So that was a very nice lap from him as well.
Yeah, and if you look, 3rd through 5th is separated by 23 hundredths right now. You got
Crazy.
Sam, Soy Loco, and RC all under a blanket right now, and getting into the final 8 minutes, it's definitely going to, those times are definitely going to improve.
And
It
Scavney
looks
is
like
down on his time as well. Puff goes 131.0, so he puts himself in the fight for pole too.
yeah, and we still haven't seen anyone else get in the 130s except for Night Monkey. So really good time for Night Monkey, but I'm sure we'll see
Yeah.
somebody else get there. Puff is literally knocking on the door.
Yeah, Puff or Maverick, they'll have time for at least one more run. If Puff just is finishing his lap, he just finished his lap, it looks like he's on his in-lap now, he'll definitely have time. Scavney is down on his time as well. It didn't look like he was down enough to go into the 130s, but I think he's gonna, if he keeps it valid, going to still be in the 131s, so that's going to improve his grid position as well. Hopefully he's going to get ahead of that bunch that are all 132.0, and he does. He goes 31.7.
Nice. So you got Scavney up in 4th, and Puff really isn't slowing down right now, but he is a second off, so I don't think this lap will do any good. But this is definitely the time where I think you start to see what people are going to do. It looks like most people are going to start on softs. We do have Eric on the mediums, but it looks like everybody will be doing the same strategy at the start. So
yeah, the soft tires are rapid here. The delta from softs to mediums is about 3 times the delta from mediums to hards. The mediums and hards not that different. The softs are just really, really fast here, so you want to be able to definitely qualify on them, and they hold up decently well in the race also, so that's a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did have a lot of stuff on Monday go both ways. We had a lot of people do mediums to softs, and it was basically 50-50. It had some people doing softs and mediums as well. So, but like I said, this is looking like it's softs all around except for Eric. But it looks like Eric is on his outlap right now, and he is on a medium, so he'll be rocking with that. But for the most part, it looks like everyone's going with the softs.
Improving his time by a few tenths, going 130.5.
Wow.
Really good.
Yeah, so
Jinnet's on a flyer right now. He is going to be knocking on the door. He's on track to do a 31 in the 31s right now, so if he can find some time through the 3rd sector, which that's where the soft tires are really going to have the advantage because the grip there, really, really important. He's going to be maybe not knocking on the door for pole, but certainly a spot in the top 10.
Yeah, locked up that final corner. Goes P4 ahead of Sam, so pretty good lap, but we'll see if he might have enough time to come back in, put on some new softs, and get back out there and do another lap, but still a good time, though.
All Maverick is 2 tenths down on his time right now. Going into the 3rd sector, so it doesn't look like he will be able to challenge Night Monkey on this particular lap, but it looks like he is right about on course to get ahead of Puff. It's going to be really close.
Yeah, let's see what he does. Heading through the final couple of corners right here, turns 17, 18, cut a little bit. It'll still count. He goes P2 and gets a 138. So, like you said, didn't get Night Monkey, but it's still in the 130s, and it's still right now on the front row.
Looks like Big has had to abandon his lap. He's in P9 at the moment. He should have enough time to get around, change tires, and get out again for a flying lap. But Puff is on an out lap now, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Jinnet has invalidated, and Alt Maverick is on an in lap. So, in terms of pole position, it looks pretty steady at the moment.
I wonder if Puff and Big maybe we'll work something out to where one of them gets a little bit of a slipstream. That's hard to do here, but you notice they're still pretty close right now. They're kind of following each other around, so...
I think Puff is on his outlap, though. He's the car in front, I believe. So he's still on an outlap, so unless Bigga is on a flyer, which it doesn't look like it because his ERS is turned down, maybe on the next lap he'll get it down the main straight. I guess we'll have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, that's interesting, though. It does look like Puff is pulling away, so maybe nothing will happen, but obviously when you have teammates that close in qualifying, you never know.
Something to keep an eye on, especially around here, like you said. It's not really a track where the toe is going to be super powerful. You already have the DRS assistance down to the first braking zone of turn 2, so it's not like Spa or Monza where your top speed on one particular straight is going to make or break your lap. it's Eric going into the top 10 on mediums. That might be a really nice spot if he can hold that. We'll see what Puff is able to do. It looks like Alt Maverick and Night Monkey are both still in the pits at the moment, though.
Yeah, and Eric is a phenomenal qualifier. He actually has 2 poles on the year, but he is notorious for getting the penalties, and he's mentioned that too. But yeah, he's the only one on the mediums, and he's in the top 10 right now. And if he qualifies 11th, he could put on a fresh pair of softs and have a big advantage at the start of the race.
Poor man's pole, as we like to say.
Yeah.
So, Puff looking pretty solid on his lap through the first sector. I missed the delta, which he was down, so we'll see it as he goes through sector 2, but looking pretty tidy.
Yeah, in the last few weeks, Puff really close to getting on the top step of the podium. Things just haven't gone his way. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, actually, in Singapore, he had roughly a 10-second lead, made a mistake, took off the front wing, and had to pit.
He's 2/10 down. He's 2/10 down right now. If he keeps a little bit of oversteer into sector 3, but if he can hold this time, he'll be P2.
Yeah, caught a bit of the curb right there, but he's still doing pretty solid. Like you said, he's got a good gap on his previous lap, so he could potentially get a better lap, and wow, he did.
Wow, that third sector must have been rapid, because he was not on track to do that after the first 2. That's a very impressive lap to put together.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, like you said, because he went wide in turn 14, caught the curbs in turn 16, so yeah, he must have been really fast there in the other corners of that sector, but...
Yeah, or his last lap through that sector might have been really bad, so...
No, that's a good point. So we got a minute left, so this is where I think desperation time happens. People will be putting in their last lap, and looks like right now, though, nobody's touching
through the third
Puff
sector.
and Night Monkey.
Yeah, no, Sam's coming through the third sector. He's on track to maybe get ahead of Jin, so if he can put it together through the third sector here, he might move up a spot, which, you know, every single place counts, especially around here, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the start of this race, we saw yesterday, JXW, his car actually flipped over, so these starts are crazy. You want to be as far up front as possible, and Sam moves up to 4th, so it's a good lap.
RC has invalidated his lap.
Oh.
It looks like he should still be able to get around. He doesn't have the fuel light blinking on his telemetry, so he should still be able to get around the third sector if he moves pretty quickly and get another lap in.
Yeah, it's a shame too. I just saw his delta, and he was roughly identical to his previous lap, so hopefully he's still got enough in those tires to get in a good lap, and I think he'll have enough time. He's getting held up right now, but he should be fine to start another lap.
Night Monkey on his last lap of the session as well. The gap between him and Puff is only about 0.06 of a second, so it's not going to take a lot for him to snag pole away here. Let's see how he's done through the first sector. He has got the gap covered right now. He's 0.07 down, almost 0.08 down on his time, so we'll follow on board with him for the rest of his lap and see if he's able to hold on to this advantage he has.
Yeah, we saw Night Monkey slipped a little bit in turn 5, no big deal though, but yeah, this is looking pretty solid. We'll see what it's like, what the delta is like coming out of sector 2. DRS is active, and this is it right here. Qualifying has ended, so this is make it or break it, and lost a little bit. So this will be close.
So close.
It's gonna be right on the fridge. Uh-oh. Well,
Yikes.
like I said, make it or break it, so...
Yeah, I didn't think you mean he'd literally break the car, but there we go.
Well, sometimes that happens. Gets out of the way for Maverick, who is in Sector 3, approaching turn 17. We'll see if he can improve. The points leader pretty far ahead of Scavzy and Bega, his 2 closest competitors in the points, and does not improve any positions, so...
Improved 0.2, but unable to improve any positions for it. Jinnit has invalidated his last lap. Sam's into the pits. RC is the next one to cross the line.
Oh, a little squirrely for RC there. Goes wide in turn 18, off the track. Looks like the lap still counted, but isn't going to improve. It looked like they were working together because they were very close on track that lap. So, but I believe. Oh,
that's it.
Yep, that is it.
Because Known Asylum just crossed the line and he didn't improve. So, Puff taking pole.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, the last few weeks he's been close to getting on the top step of the podium. So, starting up front in the in a crazy track like Russia, all the chaos will happen behind him. So this could be a good race for him. But we're about to do my predictions in a second, and usually those predictions don't go well. Usually the people I pick end up wrecking, and I'm not over exaggerating that. Like every race, my predictions either wreck out or have an issue. But Packer and I usually do predictions, and they're usually fun, and his predictions usually win, and mine usually don't. But we'll go through. Let's go through the results right now. Zyg.
Yep, we got Puff on pole, Night Monkey P2, only separated by about 600ths. Then Alt Maverick, Sam, Jinnit, RC Scavney, Soy Loco, Bark School, and it's Eric on mediums in the top 10. A lot of reserves starting outside, and ran out of time, but you guys saw them. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Biga starting P11. I'm going to take Biga to P4. I think he'll miss out on the podium, but I think he will improve a lot in this race.
Interesting. So he is on a streak. He has won 2 in a row. I'm going to say that he'll be in the podium. I'm going to put Puff in there as well. I think it'll be a Ferrari double podium again, which thrills you because you're a fellow Ferrari driver. But
yeah, and I've missed out on I've gotten 2 4th places in Tier 1 this year. I've missed out on a podium.
Oh, that's right.
Twice, and I threw away a podium in Australia, so it's eluding me this year.
Yeah, don't worry. I think we've all thrown away a podium at Australia at one point. I did that this year too. So, yeah, that track sucks. But
no. It's the best track in all of F1. I'm not exaggerating. It is my favorite track. So.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but I think the other guy will be Maverick. Like I said, he was with us on Monday and he was really fast. So, yeah, good luck to you three. Hopefully I do not curse you, but we'll see what happens. But
I think Biga will come from P11. I think he'll just miss out on a podium. I'm going to take another kind of bold prediction. I will say Puff leading every lap. I don't think he will miss leading a lap even in the pits. I think after
he's got to be really
position,
quick then.
Yeah, no, it's well. My other bold prediction is Alt Maverick out lap 1.
Whoa!
Turn 2 here is pretty crazy. Things can happen behind, so that'll be my other prediction. So I got to make my predictions in Tier 2 count because I don't get the opportunity very often. So I want to be bold with my predictions.
So we are readying up. It doesn't look like anyone prematurely did it, so
nah.
I don't think we'll be getting any penalties because you do get a 10-second penalty if you start ahead of time, but it doesn't look like it.
That's affected some race victories in Tier 1 as well.
Yeah, Doth ended up winning Canada because of one, and I believe Dylan at Belgium got one as well. And he ended up falling to P3 actually because of that. So, yeah, but we don't have to worry about that this race. Let's see. So, looks like a lot of people going with the mediums. You got Eric. Eric just missed out on 11, so he's starting out on the worn mediums, but still doing the reverse strategy though. So that could be something to look for. As long as he just doesn't get penalties, he could definitely be one to watch for. Obviously, Biga, like you mentioned, the poor man's pole in 11th. You got some reserves doing the mediums. That's interesting, just because they experienced this on Monday. So interesting to see them do that. Obviously, they're at the back of the grid, but yeah, it looks like a lot of different strategies. A lot of mediums, a lot of softs.
Oh, sorry. I was talking, but my mic was off.
Yeah.
I was just commenting on strategy that I think positions about 8 through 12, strategy is going to be super important for them. It's Eric starting on the Warren mediums, Bega starting on the fresh mediums, Soy and Bark School on the Warren softs, and Wolfsburg and Known Asylum on the fresh softs. I just think the tires there, and assuming a green flag race all the way through, I think the tires there around the pit stop window, those laps are going to be crucial for their race.
Yeah, and it looks like we're forming the grid right now. You got Night Monkey and Puff 1, 2. You got Maverick and Sam 3, 4. You got points contenders like Scavney and Biga 7th and 11th, and with races winding down, they really need all the points they can get. So this will be a very interesting start. Monday's start took a while, took a long time, so we'll see if that's the same with this one. I've noticed that it's actually been pretty opposite, where one tier is insanely quick and the other takes forever. It's usually never the same. So, but it does look like everybody has formed the grid. We are getting set to start Russia. We'll have to see if everyone can make it out alive. 3, 4, 5 red lights are out, and we are underway in Russia.
Puff gets a good start, it looks like.
Yeah, Night Monkey's still right there, going to the inside. Looks like Jinnit making a move as well, possibly 3 wide here.
Oh, Jinnit with an amazing move. He's pushed Night Monkey just a little bit wide, but Jinnit really doing a good job braking there for turn 2, I believe. Yeah,
it looks like Puff able to get away. Jinnit into P2. Night Monkey falls to P3, but pretty clean actually. Not much contact at all.
No, down the field it looks like some of the reserves are swapping positions. Known Asylum has dropped to the back. GP Colin, Hightower have all dropped to the back of the grid. Looks like they might have been caught up in some things. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2 where it looks like Known Asylum and GP might have had a coming together, but they're both underway now. So, yeah, Puff ahead. Great start from him.
Yeah, and it looks like the top 5 really close, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th under a blanket right now, and I think they'll stay that way for now. Looks like Maverick making a move on Night Monkey. Ooh, a little wide for Maverick. He's going to stay in 4th, but remember, DRS is not active till lap 3, so I think we'll still kind of see this train throughout the first few laps.
Big is struggling on those medium tires that he started the race on. It doesn't look like he was able to get the temperature into him. Really struggling for grip through Sector 3, excuse me.
As the order sorts itself out, looks like Puff so far has led every lap, but
all 2 of them.
We'll have to see if that prediction pans out. Known Asylum did pit, got a 5-second penalty, so not a good start for Known Asylum. There might be wing damage.
It does. I just went on board with him. It looks like he's missing his left end plate, so he is swapping for a new wing right now.
Yeah, so tough start there. Yeah, we'll wait for the order to get sorted back out, but
Puff still is in the lead, and it looks like he's opening up a somewhat of a gap to Jinnit and that train behind. So,
yeah, if we look, so Sam I think was the biggest loser on the start. He lost 4 spots. Jinnit gained 3. Soy Loco gained 3 into the top 5, and we'll have to see. It looks like Eric gained 3, and Eric is on those mediums. So, like I said, you got to watch out for Eric. As long as he just stays unpenalized, he could finish up front on those mediums and is already gaining a bunch of spots.
There's a huge train from about 6th through 3rd. All of them really, really close. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that's going to give Puff a chance to kind of run away out front.
Yeah. But this is the lap that DRS is active, so, and Puff puts up a best lap, so we'll have to see what happens here. Looks like people are using their overtake. Night Monkey's using his overtake, Soy Loco using his, so, but Jinnit and Puff really starting to pull away. As a matter of fact, Maverick actually outside of DRS range as of now.
Yeah, that's surprising for the championship leader and someone who's fighting for pole position. It's not a place he wants to be, letting those two get out ahead and have that gap build.
Yeah. You got to look, though. Scavney, down in 9th, lost 2 spots on the start, and like you mentioned, Biga hasn't really gone anywhere on the mediums. And
no, he just lost that position to Bark School, actually.
And Jinnit just picked up a penalty, so already on lap 3, Jinnit getting a penalty, and we'll have to see how penalties play into this, because there were a lot of penalties on Monday, and like we said before, Russia tends to be a track where you can cut corners pretty easily, so DRS is active for Jinnit.
On Monday, so I know that all too well.
Well, I had 5, and I should have had 0, but that's for another day, but Jinnit just within DRS range as of now, just about 9/10 out, so he really needs to have a good Sector 3 right here to make sure he does not lose that DRS range. Like I said, he is right on the edge. We have a yellow in Sector 3, and that's Bobby gone around.
Looks like he's trying to sort himself out now, but yeah, he's gone around through those kind of light corners of Sector 3 where you kind of go over that crest on the left-hander and kind of all of the downforce strips away. Biga not getting those mediums to work for him. He's dropped back down to 12th. Lit Romney, who also started on mediums, has moved past him. So one of my predictions is already struggling a little bit, so hopefully the other two do okay.
Well, you have the lap lead prediction with Puff. At this rate, you'll be fine, but yeah, Jinnit's still with him.
One of mine is already busted. Alt Maverick is still in the race. I predicted him out lap 1, so I'm glad he's not. I'm glad he's still in the race.
You really said he was going to be out lap 1.
I had to go bold, and I learned my lesson. I need to.
Yeah, you definitely did. Yeah, I've learned not to count out Maverick. He's had a couple of really good comebacks. He actually, at the beginning of the race, I believe it was actually lap 1 in Hungary, he lost part of his wing, had to pit, and ended up working his way through the field and won the race. So, yeah, I'm not going to count him out ever. But Night Monkey pretty close to him right now. Really within DRS range, just within 4/10 actually. And if you look right behind them, RC is all over the rear wing of Soy Loco, so we could have a couple of overtakes here on the front straight.
Yep, especially now that DRS is active. I think RC he looks like he's been saving up a lot of battery, and Soy is almost out. So RC running, it's Eric, but RC heavy on the overtake, heavy on the DRS. Ooh, he's going to make the move. He's going down the inside into turn 2.
Got it. Oh, goes wide.
Got it done and then lost it back again. They gave me a terrible camera angle for that.
Yeah, he went wide in turn 2, and RC still ahead, but still pretty close on track between those two. And this has allowed Eric on those mediums to close in. He's within DRS range, but everyone else not within DRS range. Sam outside of DRS range, and Soy Loco getting a penalty. So we already have a few guys with penalties. Lit Romney, Jinnit, Soy Loco, and of course Eric.
Of course Eric, and crucially for Puff, he's broken DRS to Jinnit, so that gap is now hovering just over a second, about 5 or 6 hundredths away from that DRS zone. So that could be really important for Puff's race, as he's hoping to build that gap and make my prediction come true.
Yes. So Eric was able to get by Soy Loco, and he's actually within range of RC. So like I said, Eric just has to stay off the penalties, and he could really be a contender here, being the fastest guy, or at least the guy that's in front on that reverse strategy. So we'll see what he can do in the later portion of the race. But within DRS, and it looks like he has a little bit more overtake than RC, so We'll see if he can get something done. RC is using overtake, so I don't think anything will happen here, but yeah, good start from Eric.
Yeah, a very good start from him, and I'll tell you who I think is in a really good spot right now is Scavney, because the field is really bunched up there from about 5th through 9th, and Scavney doesn't have any penalties yet, so he's in a really good spot as well.
Yeah, Scavney did lock up in turn 2, but is still within that gap to get DRS, and like you mentioned, Puff is ahead of that 1 second gap. We have a yellow in sector 1. Oh, and that's GP calling around.
Tough race for him. I think he had an issue on lap 1 as well. It looks like his front wing is intact. It looks like he's missing an end plate, but
he is having the gear glitch with me, so I'm just going to get off of him. That is not pleasant when you get the gear glitch.
No,
but
it is not. But he looks like he's probably gonna have to box. He has almost no battery and he's losing a lot of grip. So tough day for Alfa Romeo, but it's a nice day for Ferrari up in front.
Eric and RC collided, and RC is in the barrier. He has lost his entire front wing, and that's a virtual safety car.
Wow, yeah, I just got on board with RC as you said that, and it's Eric. Looks like he might have some damage as well on his left end plate, so I wonder if he's going to come into the pits.
Yeah, there was contact in turn 12, approaching turn 13, as DRS was disabled, but this is where it gets interesting. Looks like everybody is coming into the pits.
Puff has stayed out. I don't know if he was just past the detection point or what, but Puff has stayed out, so he might end up losing out a little bit here. Maverick has stayed out as well, but Jinnit going on to the mediums, he'll run to the end. A lot of guys boxing for mediums. They'll all be going to the end of the race on those tires.
They keep an eye on this, though, so they're pitting on lap 7, so that means the mediums will have 20 laps on them at the end. I think the mediums will be good, but they definitely will be a little bit worn. You don't know. You never know if a guy like Puff or Maverick stays out, stretches those softs, and those mediums are faster at the end of the race. Looks like Barstool as well stayed out.
Yeah, it could be a really intriguing strategy call for especially someone like Alt Maverick, who's got penalties and is going to need to make up some time. Kind of surprised to see him not come into the pits. But yeah, Puff, he's going to be in kind of a tricky spot, having to basically build that pit stop gap back up. But it doesn't look like there's a few guys who started on mediums, Adri, Lit Romney, Biga, and Ryan, who are all staying out. This is just outside the window of what softs might be able to do. Softs, if you're very, very kind to them, could maybe do about 19 laps. So this is just outside of the window for the guys who started on mediums to feel like they can go to softs. But for the guys who started on softs, that's a pretty nice call to go to the mediums.
Yeah, so just something interesting real quick. So we have Sam who put on the hard, so he's banking on the mediums falling off at the end of the race. We had Eric put on the softs. So
he's
interesting
probably
stuff.
Going to go to the end on those, I would imagine.
On the softs, that would be really interesting if he does that.
I think you can just about do it, especially with the laps under the safety car. I think the kind of the default that the game kind of pushes you to do is about maybe 16:10, or maybe 13:14, something like that. But the softs, you can just about stretch to 20 laps if you're really, really kind on them, or if you have safety car laps. So I think it's a risky call from Eric, but I think it's the right call. I think I would rather have learning what we learned on Monday from the race. I think if you had to box right now and you couldn't go to the mediums, I think going to the softs might be the better choice.
Yeah, and he is absolutely crushing it right now. Got by Bobby, and he has reeled in Scavney insanely quick. And Scavney, this is interesting because you look at 13th, 14th, 15th, you have fresh hards, fresh mediums, fresh softs. So this is a really good comparison of all three. Obviously, one is quicker than the other, but as the run goes along, like you said, I think we will definitely see which tire is faster in the end. But Scavney with DRS going to make a move on Sam with those hard tires, and he got it done.
Yeah, the hards here are durable, but they are not fast. It looks like It's Eric almost has a moment behind him on the softs. He's struggling right now.
Oh, and Sam almost lost it, and Eric goes by.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if that was him maybe giving up the position. I'm not sure what happened in the corners before, but yeah, It's Eric not having trouble on those softs there. A very nice tire to be on, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Looks like Adrian Lockdock getting by Bark School. Bark School and Adrian Lockdock still on their tires from the beginning of the race, but Adrian Lockdock on the mediums and Bark School on the softs. So, and Bark School just picked up a penalty. So, let's see. Looks like Jinnit starting to make his way through the grid. He is Puff and Maverick's closest contender right now. Jinnit, the farthest up from the people who just pitted a few laps ago, and he's really gaining on those guys ahead of him. He's right on Ryan right now, pretty close to Lit Robbie, so Jinnit could be really scary at the end of the race.
Yeah, if he's able to keep those mediums in good shape, I think that would be really nice. Like you kind of mentioned, the mediums will probably, I mean, the mediums will definitely make it to the end, but they might start to struggle those last few laps. So if I'm Jinnit, I might take a lap or two here to just take it easy on the tires, and he goes into the wall. Just as I'm saying that, Jinnit goes into the wall. Going into Sector 3, he's lost his wing. He's going to have to box. He's lost an end plate and lost most of the right side of his wing. So just as we say that, talking about Jinnit, on those mediums, he loses it.
Yeah, and that's not good for Racing Point, because that's now both RC and Jinnit with issues so far, and they're pretty close with McLaren and Constructors. They are only 22 points apart right now. So with Angel Lockdock up there and Scavney working its way through the grid, yeah, not a good start from Racing Point.
No, definitely not. Looks like Scavney might be preparing to move, and he gets it down through the kink of turn 1. Is he going to be able to hold off into the braking zone? Looks like it. He's got the DRS assistance, so yeah, Scavney, a nice move from him down the main straight before you even get to the braking zone.
Yeah, and with Jinnit having his issues, really the farthest person up on that strategy of the people who pitted is Night Monkey, pitted 2 laps ago under that VSC, and look at Eric closing in on Soy Loco, almost at that 1 second gap, and yeah, Eric, interesting strategy. We'll have to see if those softs pay off, but I don't know. I'm really banking on those softs not making it to the end. I think he's really going to have to stretch those tires to make it.
Going for a move into the braking zone after the second DRS straight, and he gets it done. So Ryan got past Lit Romney there. Moves up into P5.
Yeah, and Puff in the pits.
It's not going to let every lap.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. I don't know if Maverick actually led that lap, because the pit line the pits are by the finish line. So who knows? Maybe Maverick gets a puncture here, spins out, and he can still lead. But we're gonna have to have
out of the pits P5, so I don't think there'll have to be a lot of accidents before.
Here's the thing: if Lit Romney and Ryan crash together and go off the track, if Adrian Lockdock has a puncture, and if Alt Maverick hits the wall, Puff can lead the lap.
So there's a chance. There's not a great chance, but there's a chance. It's Eric is getting,
as long as there's a chance. As long as there's a chance.
It's Eric making an overtake. Aerostrike making an overtake on the mediums ahead of Sam, who's switched to the hards under the VSC. But yeah, I mean, despite the fact that Puff will not lead every lap, you have to think that if you could take the seat of any driver right now on the grid, it would be Puff. Effective lead of the race, fresh medium tires, Night Monkey, who's about 3 or 4 seconds behind on those medium tires that are just a little bit older. And it looks like there's a coming together, Sector 1.
Guess who just won? Guess who just won out of this entire deal with the safety car? The guy that I said to never doubt, even if he's on the wrong strategy or something happens. Nothing really happened, but he was definitely going to lose out on this. He's going to benefit tremendously from this safety car, and Yeah, I didn't really catch what happened, but there was a lot of slow cars. Sam in the Red Bull, Aerostrike in the Renault. There was a big stack up in Sector 2, and it does look like Sam does have wing damage, so there was definitely some sort of collision, but like I said, though, Maverick, the biggest winner out of this. Adrian Lockdock benefited too, but he got a speeding penalty, actually.
Ooh, that's going to hurt him. Looks like Puff will retain P2. Interestingly, Bigga, who started on Poor Man's Pole, P11 on mediums, has not gone into the pits this lap. That is very surprising to me. I don't know what he's expecting to happen. Maybe he's banking on another safety car, but this is pit for softs time, regardless of who you are, I think.
Yeah, so we'll have to see where the safety car is. Okay, they've caught up to the safety car, so yeah, he probably should have pitted that lap, but maybe he's thinking that the softs won't benefit. Maybe he's thinking to pit a little later, but obviously this is the safety car. Like, this is the opportunity to pit, so...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised.
I thought Puff was going to come out in P2, but he's actually come back in the lead, so maybe Alt Maverick just did not... Or maybe I misjudged the pit exit, or maybe Alt Maverick had a bad pit exit, but Puff is actually taking the lead.
Oh, yeah, I just want to point something out. So, remember how I said that if something crazy happens, Puff maybe could lead that lap? Now, I don't know where people were in the pits, but Puff did not pit that lap.
Puff didn't pit that lap, so
we will look back on that, but Puff, yeah, he could still be leading every lap. Yeah. Wow.
It was a very bold prediction, and it's kind of still shocking to me that lap 12 that it still could come true.
Now, we did have a safety car on lap 12 yesterday, so it's interesting because Bigga was in the broadcast booth Monday. He saw things happen. I'm just really shocked that he didn't come into the pits. Maybe he knows something we don't, but
yeah, that was
the opportunity.
The only thing I can think of is that the safety car came out while he was already past the pit entry, but I don't believe so. I think he would have the opportunity, so I'm very surprised to see him not come into the pits. Maybe he's just thinking that there's going to be another safety car like we saw on Monday.
Yeah, and he's staying out again, so... And he definitely didn't miss the entry because Maverick actually was the first guy in the pits, and he was leading at the moment of the safety car, so it definitely wasn't that, but yeah, very interesting. So he definitely knows something that we don't, but we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that could end up either being a fantastic call if it works out for him later in the race, or a points killer kind of call if he ends up dropping outside the top 10.
So we have a suggestion. So a suggestion for one of us to pull a PDR and drive. Well, that would be interesting. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Not looking like it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Oh, by the way, so remember you saying before Eric taking those softs, possibly banking on a safety car to possibly cool down those tires and have less wear at the end. This will be very interesting to see if Eric can stretch those soft tires now that we have a safety car. He's in P4, and I would like to assume that those soft tires are still in their prime, so Eric could make up a lot of spots here in the start, and he really isn't... He doesn't have too many penalties. He has 9 seconds, but that's not too much. There's still a long ways left, and you got guys like Soy Loco with 6. You have Maverick with 3, so Eric is very much in this for a podium right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
We got the safety car in this lap, so looks like Bigga will be riding with these mediums. We'll have to see how far he falls. I think he'll definitely fall at least a couple of spots, because you look at everyone around him, fresh mediums, fairly fresh softs, he's going to drop like a rock.
Really surprised to see Lit Romney go to the hards. I don't know if he just didn't have another set of mediums, if he'd used both of them or what, but that's a surprising tire for someone to go on at this point in the race, because even the softs from here should last to the end without too much difficulty.
Yeah, I don't think that is the. I don't think that's going to work. They're going to be durable at the end, but I don't think that's the strategy to go with. But it looks like through turns 17 and 18, a McLaren in the pits. That's interesting. That is Adrian Lockdock, yeah. But Puff goes, and Maverick is right on his tail. Great start from Maverick.
He's using all his overtake. Puff is using all his overtake to defend. He's going to try to go down the inside. They're level going into the braking zone. Puff looks like he tries to outbrake him, runs a little bit wide. Puff's got the inside line through the horseshoe, as I like to call it. Both of them using all their overtake, but it looks like Puff is going to retain the lead, so some strong defense there put up from Puff, and he just barely by 0.2 of a second is holding on to P1 at the moment.
Yeah, he's staying out in front. It looks like Eric really on the rear wing of Biga here. He should get this done on the back straight, as well as Soy Loco. Soy Loco's still right with them, but you have kind of a gap to Ryan and Scavney. We saw Adrian Lockdock go into pits on fresh softs. Interesting stuff there, but
interesting.
Let's see
Biga
what Eric
has
does.
Locked up, so it's Eric using all his overtake. He's going to try and make a dive, maybe around the outside into the braking zone, too far back, so he's going to have to live to fight another day. But Biga struggling on those mediums because he didn't box, and he's locked up now twice on this lap that I count.
So it looks like Eric out of overtake ability for this lap. He'll get it at the finish line, but he should get this move done really soon. I think Biga is holding him up a little bit on those old tires, so he definitely needs to come and get by him here, and we'll see what he does. Doesn't look like he's getting the run, though.
He's using all his overtake, but it doesn't look like he got a good enough exit, so he might have to wait. Ooh, and he goes into the back of Biga. Let's see when they change camera angle. It looks like his end plate's intact, so he might have some light wing damage, but yeah.
Oh, Ryan able to get the move done on Soy Loco, goes wide. Soy Loco to the inside. This is for P5 on track.
Ryan on the softs just able to edge out Soy Loco around the outside, so we look back to it's Eric who's just all over the back of Ryan. Almost goes into the back of him now in 2 successive corners.
Yeah, he is testing his limits right now. DRS is active next lap, so we'll have to see if Maverick can get by Puff, still within DRS range, and Eric just not getting the run. And the thing that's interesting too, Biga is not using overtake. Oh, Eric to the inside. Oh, go no, he's around. Oh, Eric in the barrier.
Tough. It's Eric. He's reversing now. Thankfully waited till people were passed, but that's going to drop him to the back of the grid with a penalty, needing to pit. That's his race effectively over, I fear.
So at the front right now, DRS is active. Maverick slipping back, but Puff does not have a lot of overtake. He's actually saving it right now, so this will allow Maverick to really close in. Oh, and Eric speeding in the pit lane, so this race just kind of collapsing there. But yeah, the overtake between Maverick and Puff, Maverick definitely more favorable right now. We'll have to see how that pans out, but look at Biga though, holding out on those old tires, making it work pretty much. He's still chasing third place.
Sticking with Ryan, who's on very fresh soft tires, it's impressive. But yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't pit under the safety car.
Hey, who knows? Maybe he just doesn't pit. Maybe he just takes these to the end. Oh, and he gets a penalty. And Soy Loco, they both get penalties through there, so we'll have to see what DRS does here. Maverick with DRS, Puff, very little overtake, so he is going to be in trouble on the front straight. Lots of people getting penalties.
Tons of time penalties this lap, crazy.
Wow. Scavney in P6, he really needs to get up there because Maverick is in position for a boatload of points. Same with Biga. Big is on a different strategy, but he too needs to keep these spots. Scavney right now on the back of Soy Loco. Soy Loco having more ERS, so he'll be in a better position on the front straight. But speaking of the front straight, we got Puff and Maverick, and they're both using their overtakes, so we'll see what happens here. And Puff just out of ERS here. He's having to save.
Yeah, this track kind of challenging to save ERS. You don't have too many. I mean, you don't use a ton of it, but you also don't have a lot of those heavy braking zones where you'd be saving a lot either.
Got a yellow in sector 1.
That looks like Bark School might have gone around.
Ooh. Interesting.
Really tight battle for P11 at the moment.
Yeah, and the racing points are so close right now. That is for P10 on track. You put the reserve of Ryan in there. It's for P9, but they are both very close, trying to get back up the grid after having issues at the start. You got Aerostrike in the midst as well of that battle.
And up at the front, Alt Maverick has still remained within DRS of Puff, but Alt Maverick does have that time penalty, so as much as I want Puff to lead every lap to make my prediction come true, Puff might be in one of those positions where it may be better for his race overall if he lets Alt Maverick by and just sticks in his DRS and is able to follow along that way.
Yeah, Maverick went really deep in turn 13 there, had a little bit of lockup, but he is right there on the rear wing of Puff, and with that penalty, he needs to get by him and pull away, and it does look like he's a little bit faster right now, and like I said, he does have a lot more overtake to use. Puff using all of his right now, he is on the verge of 0%. Maverick, he might make a move.
He's going to try to go on the outside. I don't think that's how you get it done into there.
Crossover.
Yeah, you don't want to try the switchback there because the inside line is so much faster, so Puff's happy to let him try the switchback because it means he's got the inside line, and that's the best way around that corner. Ooh.
Whoa! Oh my
close
goodness.
To the wall. Wow.
Change of underwear for Maverick there? Holy cow.
Oh, wow. That made me nervous and I wasn't even in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's clearly very desperate to get by Puff because as you said, he's got to pull that gap. And this is, like I said, maybe one of those spots where Puff just decides, you know what, I don't want to lose my race because of close racing with you, so he lets him by and just sticks within that gap. Might be the best call for Puff's chances at victory, but...
Yeah. And these two, they've had a lot of battles lately, and it's really gone Maverick's way. Britain, these two finished 1-2, and Maverick got the win. Same thing with Hungary, and like I said last week, Puff leading and made an error, so I bet Puff is really going to be aggressive in getting this win. I think it's way long overdue, but got a pretty good exit there, but does not have overtake, or as much as Maverick, and Maverick's getting a good run here on the front straight.
Yeah, Big, just to check in with him, he's falling down the order right now. He's in P8. Not in a good spot as Maverick gets by Puff.
Wow. That was a gutsy move there. He sent it and made it work, and now Puff, he's got to realize the penalty situation and not panic, but he also needs to save up that ERS and stay within DRS range at the same time because, like I said, Maverick, I think he's faster right now, and as soon as he gets away from that 1 second gap, Puff could be in trouble.
Yeah, if Puff wants to win this race, he's got to keep it within 1 second. Do you know if Maverick's penalty is for track limits, or is it for contact or speeding under the safety car or something?
I can check, but he only has 1 3-second penalty, so he should be if Puff gets a penalty, he should be fine. I don't think it's like a 5 seconds or anything.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's a penalty that could be removed, but normally track limits usually stay, so. Yeah, Puff's just going to have to... He'll know that the penalty is 3 seconds because of the multifunction display, but yeah, he's really got to stay within that second gap because Maverick does look very quick at the moment.
So Maverick's penalty was for multiple warnings, so I'm assuming he just Probably just cut the track too many times.
Oh,
but
Zenith with a great overtake into Sector 3. Gets by Biga. There's a ton of action now for P8 as Biga is going to come into the pits. So his risk of staying out has not paid off, and he's going to be pretty far down the order, I fear.
Yeah, and that streak is going to come to an end. It won't be 3 in a row today.
Unless something crazy happens, but yeah, no, not looking that way.
Well, here's the thing, though. If a safety car comes out right now, he is in a position to possibly win this race. He might be too far back to overtake most of the guys, even under safety car, if they pit, but he still would benefit from that. But, by the way, Ryan is a reserve, but he's up here in the mix as well. He could really possibly manipulate this battle if he gets side-by-side with Puff or Maverick, but he's going to be within DRS range.
Yeah, I would imagine Ryan will probably just kind of try to stay out of it and let those two duke it out, knowing that, like you said, he is that full-time reserve. So I'd imagine he will not try to interfere too much with their battle for the lead. But yeah, Soy Loco posed now what would be a pole after the reserve is removed, but he's got a time penalty that's going to drop him a few positions as there's a train forming behind him.
Yeah, and just a quick shout out to Lit Rami right now. Going into this race, P12 in points, and on track right now. He is actually P5. Penalties could change that, but right now, a great points day for Lit Rami.
Yeah, Lit Rami is someone who I've watched race a lot in the EU tier, and he tends to get some bad luck there. So it's nice to see him having a solid race here, and making those hards. I didn't think that was the move, but he's making them work relatively well. P6 is hard to complain about around here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I've heard with this league, though, is that you got to get the bad luck out of the way to get the good luck in, and that could be the thing with him. But Puff is still right there, so Maverick is at this point probably going to need him to get a penalty because he's looking in a pretty good position, and even if Ryan gets by him, Ryan could still give Puff DRS. So Puff looking in great position. But remember last week, though.
Puff should be pretty happy with where he is right now.
Oh, he's going to make a move. So Puff's just going to give that up.
Yeah, he's not using much of his overtake, and Ryan has used almost all of it. So Puff just kind of weighing his odds and making the calculations and deciding that just not fighting Ryan and letting him go was going to be the best move.
Sorry, contact Night Monkey and Lit Romney in turn 13. It was a big send. Yeah, Night Monkey got the spot.
Yeah, and Lit Romney had picked up a penalty a few corners before, so a couple of bobbles there on the exit of what I think is turn 14, but it's like Adri and It's Eric really battling tightly towards the bottom of the grid. Adri, someone who has raced in Tier 1 and in a U tier, is a very, very quick driver. And
so
tough battle all the way down the grid.
Pretty much, yeah. I just want to point this out. Puff is dropping like a rock. As a matter of fact, he's outside of 1 second of Ryan, so this is not over for Maverick. He just needs another second and a half, and he could get this.
It looks like Puff's front wing is intact, but yeah, I don't know why his pace is dropping off so sharply. He's got battery, doesn't have a fuel warning, so I wouldn't expect him to be saving fuel or not using much overtake, but don't know what's happened these last couple laps. He's struggling at the moment.
Yeah, he was saving a lot of overtake. He just used a little bit, but even then, he's got to use it because the laps are winding down, and as soon as those guys ahead of him tag team on DRS, they are just going to pull away. As long as, if Ryan battles Maverick, maybe, but Puff really needs to get back up there right now. Lots of penalties, by the way, including Jinnit, who's in a battle right now with Lit Romney side by side.
Crazy battles from P7's yellow flag in Sector 2s. It looks like Biga and Bobby Tava have it coming together. It looks like Bobby is going slowly. don't think we'll see a safety car or anything, as it looks like he's moving. So
yeah, Ryan able to get by, and Puff really did not gain on that battle. So, and the thing is too, Maverick will have DRS on Ryan, so this will be interesting.
This will be interesting. If Ryan is able to pull away though, then that puts Puff in a very nice position. Because you have to think, without the DRS, Puff should be able to hold that gap. But if Maverick stays in the DRS, and Puff has now closed that gap down to just about 1.1 seconds, so he's really close to getting DRS off Maverick. It's a crazy battle up at the front.
Yeah. Oh, Soy Loco going wide there, and Scavney on the rear wing of him, so this is actually for P3 on track, because like I said, Ryan is a reserve, so we have a yellow, and that's Bobby out.
It looks like he's retired in the pits. It looks like Biga coming into the pits as well. Don't know if he's just changing a wing and going for fastest lap. Let's see who it is. It's Eric who holds fastest lap at the moment, so no one in the top 10 set to gain that point from fastest lap.
Scavney so close to Soy Loco right now, and this has allowed Night Monkey to close in. Night Monkey has the fresher mediums compared to those two, so, and with not having any penalties, I wouldn't be surprised if Night Monkey picks up P3 here, but Puff outside of DRS and Maverick having DRS, so
yeah, that's gonna hurt him. 1.8, it's super close with only 3 laps to go. You know, that's 3/4 a lap. You gotta think Puff is doing all he can to keep it within that gap, but that's going to be watching the clock a little bit. As Scavney and Soy Loco side by side. Looks like Soy might have got a track warning for that, but
Soy Loco has 12 seconds in penalties, so I don't think he'll be getting a podium. Oh, and Puff has just picked up a penalty.
Oh no, that's got to be Puff's race. Puff's chance at victory just
but look,
about gone.
Maverick just picked up one as well. Oh my gosh.
Within corners.
And look what just happened. We just had a safety car in a matter of seconds.
Scavney could win.
I'm telling
could
you.
Get this win.
So Biga, unfortunately, is pretty far back, but he is on fresh softs. So if he were farther up, this would be big. But okay, so this is just, well, remember what happened yesterday? The safety car came on lap 24. We had a safety car earlier in this race that came on lap 12. Yesterday we had a safety car.
Exact repeat of Monday, like.
Except for JXW flipping over on the first lap. This is basically
Puff's gone
a repeat.
into the pits.
Oh
Puff's
boy.
gone into the pits, so he must be going to softs to think. He must think he's got the gap to Soy Loco covered.
Yeah, I don't know about that because you have. Well, we'll have to see. It looks like Soy Loco. Last second decision into the pits. This could be a great decision for Puff, depending on how many people stay out.
I don't know. Scavney's got out and got past him, and so is Night Monkey.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting though because Puff did see this race on Monday, and like I said, this is basically becoming a repeat of Monday. Puff, I just don't think this is going to work. We saw Flip Flop Fish go from about where he is on fresh tires all the way up into P2, but you got to think, with him having a penalty and guys like Scavney and Night Monkey not having any, I just don't know. And also too, you have Lit Romney on those hards, and we'll have to see if those hards are a little fresher than the mediums right now, but this is wow. I mean, in a matter of seconds we just saw
this race is totally
I don't even know. Yeah. We thought the race turned with Maverick and Scavney Maverick and Puff getting their penalties, and then the safety car came out and is like, nope, this is the craziest thing to happen in the closing laps.
Scavney's going to win this race. With Ryan being a reserve, Maverick has 6 seconds in penalties. If Scavney can hold off Night Monkey, he's got this race won.
I don't know. You look at Night Monkey, like I said before, Night Monkey has the freshest mediums between he and Scavney's safety car in this lap, so it'll be a 2-lap shootout. I don't know if those tires are going to hold up. Like I said, Night Monkey and Scavney equal on penalties too.
He won't have DRS, so that's going to make it a little bit more challenging. If Scavney can just stay in the slipstream of Alt Maverick, who's got 6 seconds in penalties, he really could win this race. It's going to be so interesting to see how Ryan leads him away.
So it looks like Ryan, the reserve, is going to lead this group to the green. It will be 2 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. And he's going. Here we go. And see how he fares.
Night Monkey's had a fantastic start.
Oh boy. This could be for the win right here with Maverick having that penalty. We'll see what Puff does as well. Keep an eye on that as well. But this is really the battle for the win. It's Scavney and Night Monkey. They cannot afford to get penalties.
No,
this will be huge for Scavney. The points.
Massive.
Yeah.
And winning, I believe he qualified P7, P8, something like that. So
yeah, it was not up at the front.
Oh, Puff's gone into the wall, it looks like. Puff has lost it, so...
Yep.
Oh, the commentator's curse has struck 3 times today.
Well, you want to know who my podium was? I put both Ferraris in there, so that's what I get for doing that. But
yeah, we both, our predictions rested on a strong day for Ferrari, and they're not set to get a single point today, so...
Oh, Adra Lockdock just got a penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. There is no yellow flag, so I don't understand that. But so Maverick almost 2 seconds ahead, but keep in mind he has 6 seconds of penalties.
Or thought about it.
Oh boy, that was close.
Very close.
So this is for the win right here, because Maverick, like I said, he has 6 seconds and he needs to put up the greatest lap of his life in order to get ahead of those guys. But this is going to be it right here.
Esports qualifying lap if he wants to.
He needs to put up a top 100 time trial lap.
Basically.
But this is it.
14 lap old medium tires.
And Jinnit has 15 seconds of penalties, and Lit Romney has 6. So this is it right here. Night Monkey, they're pretty much equal in overtake, but he does have the slipstream. I think he's going to send it right here. He's looking pretty antsy.
I think he's going to send it into the final braking zone after the next DRS straight.
Ooh. Good exit for Night Monkey. Very clean right there on the rear wing. Now, here's the thing. He's got to save ERS because Scavney just used a bunch of his. Oh, very close. But like I said, though, and Jinnit, he's going to interfere with this.
Oh, they made contact. Jinnit's gone down the inside. They've made contact. Night Monkey has lost some front wing.
But he will have the run and going wide. So, and look at Lit Romney. Lit Romney could be in for a potential podium.
Night Monkey is following. He's gone all the way to P7. Lit Romney, like you said, could be in for a podium. Jinnit
wing is broken.
Out of this race. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Looks like Aero Strike is going slowly.
Oh, we got Soy Loco to the inside of Lit Romney here. This could be for a spot. Little contact. Gabby looking pretty good, though. But we got Ryan and Maverick at the front. I'm telling you, look at Maverick.
Soy Loco's getting by Lit Romney.
Maverick 4 seconds up, but this could be for P3.
Close.
Wow, side by side, but
the Sauce just has so much more grip. It's really
Ryan
not a competition.
Going to come to the line, win the race on track. Maverick coming to the line first of the Tier 2 guys, but it will be Scavney winning the race. Maverick P2. How did RC finish in third?
I don't know, but I love it.
What in the world? He was not up there at all. He had 20-lap medium tires. And remember, he had an issue at the beginning of the race. Had to pit.
Wow, RC.
I know. Wow, great drive.
Race.
And that was fantastic. I don't know what to say. Night Monkey still got 4th after losing his front wing on the last lap. Wow. Interesting stuff. We got an RC podium.
RC podium. Scavney is going to say P2, but he won the race. Just amazing. Amazing scenes at Russia. Congratulations. Scavney, Alt Maverick, and RC. Great podium.
Yeah, well, this is big for really for both Scavney and RC, because Scavney will take back P2 in the points and gain some on Maverick, and RC finishing P3. I'm looking at it right now, he could potentially get a spot. I don't think Sam finished up there, so he could get a spot on him. He finished ahead of Soy Loco, so he could get a couple spots as well, but yeah, that was a crazy couple of final laps there.
Yeah. Late safety car, just basically this race felt like a repeat of Monday, and I'm here for it. It's a great race to repeat.
Yeah.
With two exciting safety cars that really shuck everything up. But yeah, Scavney going from P7 to the race victory. Ryan, yes, we know he's a reserve, but it also must be said that he went from last to first, so an incredible race from him. Alt Maverick doing a good job staying on the podium. Wolfsburg having a great race as well, coming from outside the top 10, and same thing with Lit Romney to finish 6th and 7th. Puff getting a point, so our high hopes for Ferrari only culminating in a single point.
Yeah, and we may have, I think we have one reserve that doesn't get points in the top 10, so Puff will get 2 points, but obviously a big disappointment considering how many laps he led, and just, yeah, I think that decision to pit really just kind of unraveled his race there.
Yeah, it's a tough call, because if he is able to come out ahead of Soy Loco and come out P3, you know, if it's totally just, you know, like I said, if he's able to come out and retain his track position and just lose the place to Maverick, he's won the race. It's the kind of safety car call that absolutely wins you a race, and for him, unfortunately, he just miscalculated the gap, and, you know, Ferrari pulled a Ferrari, got the pit strategy wrong, and it cost him the victory, I fear.
Yeah, so it looks like we had Scavney and RC in here. I added Maverick, so they should be able to get in here for the top 3. But yeah, I don't even know where to begin. That was just crazy stuff.
Yeah, just fantastic. And yeah, the late safety car always has a way of shaking up the grid, and it was evidenced again here how just the pit calls and the tires that you're on make such a big difference. So
yeah.
Hey.
Hello.
That was intense.
Yeah. Well, RC, you got the podium, but you didn't get the 40 seconds of penalties that I mentioned before.
No. I was impressed with myself not getting any.
Yeah, that's right. You and Scavney, I believe, were the only ones.
Night Monkey picked a penalty up on the last lap, and I was hoping Scavney had as well, but he hadn't. So
yeah, so I think we're waiting. I think we need Scavney. I think everyone else is in here though.
Fantastic race. Loved the chance to get to be in for Tier 2.
Yeah. This is Zyg's first Tier 2 experience. So
nice.
Yeah. So now you get to. Well, here's the thing. So you've experienced all 3 tiers this season. So you get to say which one is more superior.
Oh, I mean, of course I'm going to be biased and say Tier 1 because that's what I race in, but. EU tier has been fun to commentate every week, and Tier 2 clearly has some really solid racing in it, so yeah, they've all been great.
Here's Scavney.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it. So Scavney, awesome win, getting the win on penalties, but still was able to make it happen. This is huge just because of the points, able to get at least P2 in the standings for now, and gaining on Maverick. What was your thinking process on that final safety car? Were you confident with your decision there?
Well, I mean, Jeff told me to pit, so of course I stayed out. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody else would go in at all, so I was just figuring to stay out and maximize my position with the penalties because I knew I was on 2 warnings, but I knew I was free, but wasn't expecting P1 out of that.
Yeah.
I always
Zai, you got
I always
anything?
appreciate hearing someone talk back to Jeff.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things about the entire game. It's just being able to say "shut up, Jeff." So, but yeah, no, I think I just need to. I don't have any questions for you, Scavney. The fact that you were able to make it through the entire race without a single penalty, because that is a challenge in and of itself, let alone to do it with the pace to finish P1. So, congrats, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so P2 Maverick, still a great race from you. Those penalties, though, obviously hurt. So, what was so I asked Scavney this. What was your process in that final safety car? Were you possibly thinking of doing the opposite? Were you kind of confident of staying out there?
I was 80% confident that I was going to stay out, I will say that. But I didn't have Lando with me tonight. He wasn't feeling well. And I was like, all right, that's fine. I'll do okay without you. I'll be all right. It's soft to mediums. I'll be fine. And well, we had 2 safety cars, so I guess I kind of need. Looked at the gap. I looked where Puff was, and I went, well, if he comes out ahead of everybody, then that was the right call. If he comes out behind people, then it's not the right call. That's obvious. That's the obvious answer. So when I saw him pit, I was like, well, I'm not going to, dart across and try to do the same as him. But I mean, in the end, it was the right call, and I think he finished down, I think P10.
Yeah, P10.
P9 after reserves, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it crossed my mind that I was going to pit, but I think I stuck with my gun and just stayed out, and I think obviously that helped in the end. But with the 6 seconds of penalties, that was never going to help with that safety car. And I know I had to stick really close to Ryan and just have him drag me as far ahead as I could of Scavney, but in the end it just didn't matter because he got me anyway.
Yeah, I was missing Lando with his usual weather report at the beginning of the race. I was missing that. Yeah, Zag, you got anything?
No, I guess just before that safety car came out, there was Ryan, obviously the reserve, but was kind of coming through and disrupting that battle between you and Puff. So were you planning on letting Ryan through and just riding him to build that gap, or what was your plan pre-safety car?
I know when I was behind Puff, I was trying to force him into an error. I was getting really close in the braking zones. I was trying my best, and he wasn't budging. So once I got ahead of him, my mind switched to, okay, I'm gonna make him push into a mistake. And of course, he never did that because he's just an excellent racer. When Ryan got ahead of him, I'm like, and he started dropping back. I'm like, okay, well, this is 100% better than what has been happening. And then when I realized, it always takes me a while that there's tier 1 guys in here and they don't count. I was like, okay, wait, Ryan's reserve, he doesn't count. I'll let him pass, but I won't make it seem like that. So I think when he got past
fight him as he tries to get past.
Yeah, I think when he passed me, I wasn't in overtake, I wasn't in rich. I just pulled off to the side, and I was like, okay, I'll let him pull me. And then Puff started drawing it back as soon as he got past me. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should have stayed ahead of him, but it was interesting, the mind games that I tried playing.
Yeah, that's exactly what Camden and I were doing, just in the booth as we were watching all unfold, just trying to figure out exactly what it was going through everybody's mind, because there was a lot of with both safety cars and kind of a repeat of Monday, it felt a little bit like a chess match and kind of figuring out what people might do. So Yeah, it was interesting to watch unfold.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we've got the top two, and then RC pulling in P3, and honestly, I think that's got to be a great result for you after the contact on lap 6. I think we caught the last bit of it, but what happened there? I think there was contact with either you and Soy Loco or Eric. What happened there?
Yeah, I was coming down the back straight, and Eric was in DRS. I stayed to the inside, he pulled to the outside. We got into the braking zone, and he must have thought the move was done, and pulled back across and put me on the wall. So that brought out the virtual safety car, and then I had to make a choice whether I was going to go onto the hard tyre or the mediums. So I went medium, and yeah, I needed the safety car to bring me back into it, because there was no chance. I was 19th, I think, at that point. Maybe lap 8, 19th. So I'm very pleased with how it ended up.
Absolutely. And you and Jin, I think, actually both ended up getting points too. Because there's points where you both had contact at some point. So I think it was silly.
I think Jin spun it.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
think
Like lap
after
3, you guys
after the
were.
VSC.
Yeah, like lap 3 or 4, you guys were running both near the back, or, you know.
I don't think it was as early as that. I think it was maybe lap 8, 9 sort of.
Yeah,
that
maybe
sort of
something
time.
like that.
But yeah, I think he had an incident where he spun, and yeah, he recovered well, but I think he had 15 seconds in penalties, so that put him down outside the points.
It's tough. Late safety car is a killer for that kind of penalty.
Yeah, well, the late safety car was a blessing for me because I might have been 6th or 7th without the safety car at the end, and it's just brought me back into play because, like Scavney, had no penalties, which
so
I was
around
joking
here.
with you guys before, saying about getting 40 seconds in penalties. And
Yeah,
I think it's my first race with no penalties without the line, so I'm very pleased with that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think you should be.
So we had some guys race on Monday, and like Zag and I said, this really was kind of a repeat of Monday with the safety car on lap 24. So I think Maverick really one of the people to really kind of get the experience of what this was going to be like, because you already went through it on Monday with the late safety car chaos.
Yeah, it was weird. When this safety car came out, I was like, wait, didn't this? My first thought was, okay, what do I do? Second thought was, wait a minute, where's Packer? Because it was the same thing happened, and I think Puff obviously came out behind people. Packer didn't. That was the difference, and I think that's why towards the end of that race, Packer was pushing me there. In this race, obviously, I had to push to get ahead of Scavney, so there was a bit of a difference in terms of who I was racing, and how it just played out. But I think it was completely different in terms of the outcome, because I think it was Beck who tried to squeeze in between me and Packer, and then someone breaks something, someone hits someone, and then I think me and Beck both went off. And on that last lap, but it was interesting. It was really interesting. Obviously, it was my first taste of Tier 1, and I think I did pretty well, especially not qualifying. That was interesting.
All right, so I don't know if anyone else has anything to say, but unless if anyone does, Zag, you're the one technically running the show. So whenever you're ready, you can sign us off.
Yeah, no, it was for my first time in the booth for Tier 2. It was a really exciting race, and yeah, congrats to everybody who finished on the podium. For those of you who finished without any penalties, I'm just in awe because it's such a challenge here around Russia. But yeah, it was a great race. Only a few more left to figure out those last championship positions, and Japan's up next. So be looking forward to it. Even if I won't be in the booth, I'll be looking forward to watching it. So. Yeah, we will see you guys back same time, same place next week for round, I believe, 17 for Japan. So yeah, I'm Zyg. Camden's been in the booth, and yeah, have a great week, guys.